Welcome to the Official Personality Guru. The struggle with personality types and correlating them to things like ADD or ADHD is the fact that sometimes it is simply part of their personality. Which types are more likely to have these disorders isn't something that can easily be measured. So, it is important to take a step back and analyze it accordingly. Diving into the traits and differences can help to understand what might cause these types to be misdiagnosed, or what make them potentially more prone to certain conditions. It is important to understand each individual on a deeper level before making assumptions, since there are far more complex details than simply pegging a personality type as something without learning more. Today, let's talk about INFJ ADHD and ADD and what the INFJ's attention span is like. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the Official Personality Guru and ring the bell icon to get regular updates on our latest uploads. And if you like this video, click the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. While INFJs do lack inspiration in certain subjects, they rarely struggle with being able to focus. As children, though INFJs do tend to daydream, which can sometimes be misunderstood, they can spend so much time alone, and this isn't always something that others relate to or fully comprehend. While they might have this tendency to spend time inside of their minds, they often do well in school and can get their work done accordingly. They don't struggle to focus on getting things done when the time comes to do so. It is important to understand the INFJ better on a deeper level before making assumptions. INFJ and ADHD. INFJs are often calmer and more reserved, even as children. They keep to themselves and do their best to avoid too much trouble. They have a lot going on inside of their minds and have vivid imaginations which can keep them distracted sometimes. While INFJs would often prefer to daydream and spend hours inside of their thoughts, they are also very aware of the emotions and behaviors of those around them. The INFJ can tell when they are being observed and often knows when they need to remain focused to avoid being misunderstood. Most INFJs pick this up at a young age and do their best to remain focused on their work and the things they need to do when they have to. They are also naturally intelligent people and can often excel in schooling and intellectual work without much effort. They can keep up in school most of the time without having to focus 100%. This can help the INFJ to avoid being seen as someone who has ADHD or ADD when they don't. While INFJs are dreamers, they are also good at focusing on one task when they have to. They might be somewhere else inside of their minds, but it appears as if they are intently focused on what they are doing. INFJs often enjoy things like this because it gives them a chance to let their minds wander while they are dealing with whatever is in front of them at the time. INFJs know how to multitask in this way so that they can give themselves space from interacting with others. While INFJs are often warm people who like connecting with others, that doesn't mean they want to do this constantly. Being that they are introverts, they need time to themselves. But when they are young, the INFJ might realize that they need to hide this from most people. They battle with their desire to please others and their need to have plenty of time to themselves. These struggles can make it challenging for the INFJ when they are younger, as they try to figure out their own needs and boundaries. They can often portray themselves however they want others to see them, since INFJs are in tune with the emotions and expectations of others. While they are capable of this, it can become rather draining and overwhelming after only a short time of doing it. The INFJ needs to learn how to be themselves as they develop, even if people misunderstand this. The INFJ who truly does deal with ADHD symptoms can be even more misunderstood. The struggle is that INFJs are rare as it is, but being an INFJ who has ADHD is even more uncommon. This puts them in the position of being highly misunderstood and having people label them as incorrect things. INFJs with ADHD can be seen as extroverts even though they are not, because of their occasionally outward expressions and the way they appear more on edge and even energized. Sometimes, the hyperactivity can express itself as OCD, since the INFJ can become obsessive over one thing and find themselves latched onto this. While this is a common INFJ quality, it becomes amplified when they are dealing with ADHD. They become unable to focus on other things and want to continue to analyze this one subject or situation. Their attention span is a bit of a struggle, as they find themselves unable to sit still or focus on something even when they want to. This can be more challenging for the INFJ than for other types, especially since their inner need to please is important to them. For the INFJ dealing with these ADHD symptoms, it can be a constant struggle of feeling misunderstood by those around them. They need to find people who are similar to them and who won't judge their behaviors and see them inaccurately. People with INFP personality type may come to know in their later lives that they have been diagnosed with ADHD when they were children. Thus, it may be difficult to find the best jobs for the INFP with ADHD since they find it difficult to be concentrated on a particular thing. This may cause a misconception, particularly as this is the way most of the mind of INFP people works naturally. The people with INFP personality type show a desire for bouncing around to various ideas and struggle in remaining concentrated on one particular thing. So, this is significant that one should not jump to any judgment instantly, as most INFP people are simply reinforced in such a way, and it is not something that requires fixing or altering. They simply need to be understood. A child with an INFP personality type is naturally curious and has a desire to probe into numerous different things in his environment. There is always a process happening in their minds at a rapid pace that cannot be identified by the people, and thus they are vulnerable to losing interest if nobody is challenging them in the right way. In this article, we will discuss the best jobs for INFP with ADHD. In most instances, the people with INFP personality type are mostly found to be highly intelligent, and they require to look for something helpful for them in keeping their minds activated. These people are mostly required to attend special sessions or courses which can compete with their wildness and imagination of their inside minds, and helpful in finding a thing which will inspire them to make them stay concentrated about their passion in a constructive way. Thus, one can say that the best jobs for INFP with ADHD can be those in which they can be under constant surveillance and guidance. How about you? As any other personality type, or do you know any INFJ with ADHD and ADD? If so, probably this is the best time to understand them. Be sure to watch until the end and share your experience for a chance to have your comment pinned. When INFP people with ADHD do not get satisfaction and do not have individuals around them who can bring changes in them, they can be very successful and might wonderfully use their creativity. Best jobs for the INFP with ADHD can be based on careful analysis of their personality traits, which might get undermined due to ADHD. This becomes significant for the physician who has diagnosed an INFP to comprehend the differences and not make efforts to change their ways of behavior when it is required to be engaged. The people with INFP personality type are intricate and have rich minds and are only required to be encouraged in a positive direction. These people are capable of exploring various directions in their life and have a curiosity in their minds about their environment. Before we continue, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give us a like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the Official Personality Guru for more amazing videos. Don't forget to ring the bell icon to stay updated with our content. While being misunderstood is a common theme for INFJ, that doesn't mean they shouldn't search for people who are willing to put forth the effort to connect with them and understand them on a more personal level. ADHD might not be common for the INFJs, but like anything, it is not impossible. It is important to analyze the situation and learn more about the INFJ on a personal level to know what is going on inside of their complex minds and souls.